Welcome back to Beyond the Diamond, the Astros Outfield preview for 2024. I'm Dez, that is Josh. B. Lima is on the 5-day IL for vacation. And today's episode, we'll jump right into it as we wrap up this series of our spring training that we're also doing in the content world. And we'll jump into left field. And there's not much to say. There's not much to say about one of the greatest bats of all time, Yordan Alvarez.
Did you know? I get surprised about it every time. Every time I go look at his stats, his career OPS is 978.
Yeah,
that's like best of all time status. Like Altuve is one of the greats, and Altuve is probably going to be a Hall of Famer. And he's like on that list of like best of this era and everything. His career OPS is 835.
Wild.
Yordan's career. Oh my, it's just crazy.
Wild. So this is the only question and the only thing, and Yordan's my son. I was one of the first to be on him in 2019 and pause. Wow. Is durability. He has to prove that he can. I'm not saying be like Breggs and play 155 games. I just need that 135, 140 range.
If he plays 130 games, I am ecstatic. He probably has 35 bombs minimum. Like, we're good.
Imagine if he played 150 games.
If he played as many games as Bregman, he could hit 55 bombs.
Bananas. But he strikes fear. He's going to be batting 2-hole. I love it. Just math wise, I think they said it's like another 35 at bats on.
It just makes so much sense. It's because the games that he does play, you just maximize how many at bats he's getting in that game.
So you're set, and obviously he's gonna be DHing, playing left. The guy who's holding down left field and also center field will be Chas McCormick, and for the longest time, the question was who is replacing George Springer, and for the longest time, the answer has always been Chas McCormick. It's almost like that meme with the space with the.
Is it Chas McCormick? It's always
been. And hey, men lie, women lie, numbers don't, and Chas McCormick's numbers don't lie. And he's suitable to play left, he's suitable to play center, and he will. But he's a guy that he replaced George Springer, and it wasn't that
almost
parade of Pena Bridge.
Yeah,
but like I was planned, but it was like, hey, he stepped up when that opened up, and friend of the program, family's friend of the program. Can't wait to see them again. But man, when you have those two guys alternating out there, studs. And he also gives you the flexibility, right, to have just Yordan DH when he wants, or when he wants to play the field, you can Chas McCormick DH.
Yeah. Or if Yordan started and Chas is on the bench, like you can bring him in as a defensive replacement without the worry of, well, if he does bat in an important situation,
he swings it.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world.
100%. That's a great take. I didn't even. Yeah. So you have that guy, and you have. We'll shift over to right field. You have a perennial all-star. You have a future MVP, friend of the program, Kyle Tucker, who is looking to take that step to become a star in this league.
Yeah.
And I think that's super exciting. Yes, he had a terrible October. He'll be the first to say that. But
he kind of just lost his legs in September.
I think it was another thing of WBC. I think he lost his legs.
I will say, I'm gonna say this. We are huge WBC supporters.
Huge.
We
were there.
It.
I love it. It's the greatest sporting experience of all time.
I do think, in hindsight, if there wasn't a WBC last year, the Astros might repeat. In hindsight, maybe. I mean, you never know. I mean, it's never exact. It's never exact. But we just all around our team had some issues with fatigue. Kyle Tucker was one of the biggest, I think, losers of that. And it's not just the WBC. It's just the Astros were a very unique case of the WBC and playing deep into October for the past 4 years. And It just the combination of all that.
It adds up.
But I think this offseason, it seems like the guys have come in a lot more rested, and they're really also, I think, seem to be maybe taking it a little easier in spring. I think Kyle Tucker's going to be ready. He's going to flip that switch game one and go off. I think he's good.
And it's crazy. He finished the year top 5 MVP, an All-Star, 886 OPS, 284 average, a 30-30 guy.
And people talk about it like he was kind of a down year.
And it was a down. Yeah, and look, we're spoiled as a fan base because you're remembered for what you do in October, and he had a bad October. Just like the year before, Yuli had a really bad regular season, but had a great October. Like, you get remembered for what you do in October.
Yeah,
it's just that comes with the territory of being a Houston Astro. Saying that, I think he has a 900 OPS year. Like
and think that's not even a crazy.
That's not a crazy reach. It's not a crazy take. You want a crazier take? I think he has a career. His career high OPS is 917, which happened in 2021. I think he has like a 940 OPS year.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that stock. I'll buy that stock. Yeah.
And it's another guy. He played 157 games last year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. I mean, on top of
how many played in 2022?
22, he played 150 games.
So he played 150 games, played every game of October, played every game of the WBC.
Had 6 week offseason, played every game of the WBC.
And then played 157 regular season games, plus spring training. And then play. Yeah, I mean, God, this was probably more rest than he's had in 2 years.
There's a reason why in like World War II they pulled all those soldiers off the front line and gave them like 5-day passes to Paris. Like, you have to in the middle of the front line for a minute. You got to.
He needs to go see a show.
Just get out of here.
Yeah,
these guys are human. So you have a budding superstar in right field. You have the greatest left-handed DH/left fielder since Big Papi, he's better.
Yeah.
You have Chas McCormick, who will always be remembered for the catch in 22, but everything else that he brings, and all roads lead to center field. And you have your conversation. You have your guy. You've been a Jake Meyers guy. I love Jake, and I think he has the tools. Obviously, he has a lot of confidence this year. He's been open about with Chandler and a lot of his athletic pieces about what he went through on the mental side of baseball with the coach. That takes a lot to say that out loud. And a year of health. And I say this, I sound like a beaten horse. I told everyone, it's like the old guy at the fucking bar. I say this story all the time. Labrum surgeries are the worst surgery in baseball. It's not your Tommy John anymore. It's not an ACL. It is a labrum surgery. It's like a 35-40% fail rate. Like, you never bouncing back. And to him to even be in the show and doing what he's doing is incredible. Like, that is a medical success story. Saying that, there's a lot of questions going into, is he capable of being an everyday center fielder?
Yeah.
And that's where the conversation is. And
I think we kind of, being an Astros fan, we're spoiled
100%.
And I think a lot of this conversation goes to people who like me, are supporters of Jake Meyers and think he is an MLB outfielder. I think the opposite side of that, people are like, well, if he doesn't have a 900 OPS, then we're wrong and Jake sucks. Well, I don't expect that. I expect, and what I'm hoping for is just basically similar to Chas McCormick. Like, I'd be happy with an 800 OPS. I'd be happy with a 780.
I'll be 100 in the 750 range.
Yeah, like that. I think that's all we need. And I was a little wavering on Jake coming into this season. And I know we don't like to put that much stock into spring training numbers and everything, but it's more than the numbers. Jake looks great.
He looks
every at bat, because a lot of the games you can only follow on game day. Every time Jake's coming up, it's like a 6-7 pitch at bat. Like, he's taking close pitches. He's swinging at strikes. He's hitting the ball the other way. He's hitting doubles down the line. He's hitting line drives up the middle. Like, he is doing everything you want him to do. Oh, and by the way, he's one of the best defensive center fielders in baseball, according to defensive metrics.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the conversation's over. I think Jake is I wouldn't say he's a starter. I would say anytime Yordan is DHing, he's starting center field. When Yordan is not DHing and Yordan is playing left, then I would rather have Chaz in center, because I do think Chaz has proven himself and is the better player currently. So you put the better player on the field. But I think when Chaz is playing left, Jake's in center, and I'm happy. And Jake's hitting 8th or 9th, and we're okay. And give him, if by June he still has a 600 OPS and he's struggling, then I'm sorry, I was wrong. Then Joey Luperfido has his chance. Then Jacob Melton has his chance. Then maybe Pedro Leon has his chance. Like, there's depth there, so I'm okay with giving him a longer leash. Let him try and prove himself, see what he's got, and see what happens.
Yeah. I think you nailed it with how confident he has looked. And obviously those are not metrics that you could put in your Excel sheet. I do think there's a lot of stock in what Espada and the front office said really early on before spring training.
Yeah, they called that.
They were like, "Hey,
early.
You're a guy. You're
for
our
one
guy."
for one of the positions that had the most like competition. It was weird.
It early.
Yeah, they called it early.
It's like in the presidential elections when they 0.1% is in. This state's going to X.
Like, how do they know? How do
you know? Like, what are we doing? Like, and they're right. They're right all the time.
Yeah. They know somehow. They know.
But I like that. You come in, you're not looking over your shoulder. Obviously, competition breeds success. That's the Astro way. I
think it gave him a better mental to come into the spring training and think it's mine to lose rather than I have to earn it.
Yeah.
I think it gives him the right clear headspace to go out there and perform, and he's done it so far.
Look, I've been on the other side, obviously never at this high level, but in college, my junior year, I was always looking over my shoulder. I had a great freshman, sophomore year, a young kid came in. I was always looking over my shoulder. Going to my senior year, TP was like, "Hey, it's your job." And proceed to bat like 380 on the year, have a really good season. But that was just it was calming in the sense of knowing that, like, hey, this at bat, I don't have to be a hero. Like, I don't have to.
That's I don't have to.
Point. Like, I don't have to hit this 6-run home run right here. Like,
my career isn't riding on this eighth inning at bat in May. Like,
yeah, and you're just like, and if you played on any level, you have this feeling where, like, man, like, if I don't come through here and the game's already based on failure, like, I'm not gonna get the shot in this opportunity, and then you tense up, and then you're fighting it, and then you get blown away, like, and then it's just this negative, like, avalanche. But when you have that confidence instilled in you by the brash, like, hey, this is your job. Like, this, like, obviously, we're 2-3 months in and it's not working, then obviously that's on you. You failed. Yeah. But to have the confidence and that peace of mind of, like, yes, this is a big at bat. I got to come through for my boys here. It's not like, oh my God, if I don't do this right here, I'm never going to have this opportunity. I'm going to be on the bench. Like,
yeah, it's the benefit of the doubt.
It's so fleeting. And so I think, obviously, he's going to have to produce. Obviously, in the media and on Twitter, there'll be a shorter leash than what's happening with Espada. But I'm very excited to see the 2024 version of Jake Meyers.
Yeah.
And I think everyone should be. I think, honestly, everyone should be.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah. And that goes back into what you said, this confidence at the plate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think how it's going to work, like I said, I think it's going to be when Yordan is starting in left, Chaz is probably in center. Maybe it's a 50-50 thing there. When Chaz is starting in left, then Jake is your starting center fielder. And then let's go into the depth, because we have a lot of depth at this position, at all the outfield positions. Luckily, one of the first seasons where I'm like, if somebody gets injured, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, you want your proven MLB player to be playing in the MLB, but if we have an injury, like I'm actually a little excited to see what we could get out of. You have Corey Jokes. He had his time last year. I don't think we see a lot of him this year, but if he's killing it in AAA, then maybe he gets another shot. We have Joey Luperfido. I think everybody is excited for this kid. The reviews are glowing. It's like before the movie comes out and you see some of the Rotten Tomatoes reviews and like it's already at like 96%, and you're like, oh shit, is this movie really that good? Like, is this going to happen? You also have Kennedy Corona. He's he's only in AA and he's 23 and he's a potential stud in the making.
Bro, I want Kennedy to come on the pod, but that dude oozes drip. Oozes like that guy looks like a ball player, man. He looks like he belongs.
You have Quincy Hamilton, 25, AAA center fielder. And then you have is he number 1 or he's number 2 top prospect for the Astros, Jacob Mountain.
Yeah.
He's only 23. He's in.
He raked at Oregon State. Yeah.
I think we might see him in September. We probably don't see him really until next year. And then you have Pedro Leon. So, and he might, I think he either gets a shot with the Astros this year or he's a piece at the deadline. Hopefully he's performing well at AAA and his value is there. But yeah, there's a ton of depth here. And so this leads into the conversation of the bench and who else makes it.
There's something that I want to talk about before we talk to the bench. And it kind of leads into this man crush I have on Joey Luperfido is when you're on the Astros, and I think it goes back to culture and goes back to how from the very, very top big dog, Jim Crane, to the guy making it on the 40 man. There's this culture that is instilled where you're also not like, you're not babied and you're not, and you're obviously with the Astros, you're put in a situation where you're not the savior. And we talked about on the podcast before where like, you don't have to go be Tucker. You don't have to go be Bregman. You don't have to be Correa or Springer. Those guys already did the hard work. Now you're just there to be a part of the machine and keep it going down the field.
It's not like a top prospect in like the Brewer system or whoever that needs
where
to come up and
the whole franchise is on your shoulders. But within that nugget, the way high ups, and this goes to Espada when he was talking about Joey Luperfido, he said like he has this opportunity to go out and take it. Like he has this opportunity to go make the team and go do this, and he has it in him. Like he obviously in the Athletic, and I'm butchering Chandler's article, but and we'll link it. But like you had all these different. He looks like a big leaguer. He's carrying himself like he's doing all this different stuff. He made the payout for the team, which I thought was really cool. If you know Joey, you want to make something for the office, we'd love some. But they challenge you. They challenge you to be great. Nothing is given to you in this organization, and you can go to every single guy has come up, whether you're a top prospect or not. You're challenged to be great, and you saw it with Hunter Brown. They were like, yeah, he has like just a couple of weeks ago, another article piece where they were like, he has the stuff to be a number 1. Like, go get it. Like they challenge you to go get it because they're not comfortable. Hunter Brown could be a number 4 for his entire career, number 3 for his entire career, like he is right now with the Houston Astros, and that is great. That is a great career
as a baseball player. That's top 1%.
Amazing. But in the Houston Astro way, they're like, no. Go be one. Yeah. Go be that dude. Go push those guys. And I think that happens with Joey Luperfido and every other guy that comes up. Like, go be that dude. Because even if you don't make it to that, you're playing at such a high level that you were not comfortable with. If I'm just a number 3 for my entire career, that's great. I'll probably have my 10-year service time, probably jump around. I'll probably get paid handsomely. That's a great, comfortable benchmark. But the Astros push you to go be that number 1 guy. Go chase down Javier. Go chase down Verlander. Go chase down Frank.
Exactly. When you have those guys and when you have excellence and future Hall of Famers on your roster, it makes it so much easier to, it's like if you're climbing up a hill, if you're ahead of everybody else on the hill, that motivation to get up there is like, oh, I'm doing okay. When you're on that hill and you see a Verlander up there, you even see like a Bregman or like an Altuve or like whoever, you see these guys that are just oozing excellence every single step they take in that clubhouse. You're like, I want to be them. I want to get up there. I want to do that. So yeah, I mean, you're exactly right.
When you operate around greatness, a byproduct's probably winning. Like,
yeah,
it's probably 100% guaranteed. And so that's the one thing. And going to the bench, there's 4 spots and 2 already taken with Victor Caratini and Mauricio Dubon. You have 2 spots with kind of musical chairs while it's dwindling down with a week left of camp. It looks like Singleton will probably be on there. That left, he just has no options left to be sent down. He has a left-handed bat.
Yeah, I think he makes it. And with, like I said earlier, in the infield portion, I think he has an extremely short leash.
Yeah.
I think they gave him his shot. He's more than earned it. He's
capable.
He's been a perennial quadruple A player, but he's been around this team and he's been around the league long enough where he has that semi-vet status where it's like, it's your spot until you lose it. You will get that spot. He'll play. Maybe he'll start every 4th, 5th game, give up Brady a day off. He'll maybe play DH a couple times. He's going to get probably 10 to 15 starts over the first 2 months. And we'll see.
Yeah.
And it'll be like, if you're not hitting, if you have a 500 OPS like he did at points last year, then I think that's going to be it for him. But hopefully, he does what he does. He gets some big home runs. He performs well enough and he stays around.
Yeah. And then you shift to 2 spots or 1 spot essentially for 3 possible players with Corey Julks, who got a ton of run last year, the Joey Luperfido, the young gun, and Gray Kessinger, who's nursing the hammy, pulled up. And so if Kess opens up on the IL, like, it's now a 2-way spot.
I think that's Joey's spot. I think that's Joey Luperfido's spot. And I'd be very surprised. I mean, at this point, if somebody makes it over Luperfido.
If they do, it's Corey Julks, right? He had 300 at-bats last year, 6 tanks, 245 average, 650 OPS. He did give you a lot of run. He played a lot early on.
That would be just going with a guy with experience and giving Luperfido more time, I guess, to get his feet wet.
If you do the development play. But so let us know in the comments, who do you think is going to be the 4 bench spots? Obviously 2 already penciled in. But let us know who you guys want. Other than that, that's our spring training full depth chart.
Yeah, we've gone through every position. Yeah,
the nuts.
Everything you need to know going into the season. Tell your friends.
The primer, the spring training post primer.
And this will be coming out Monday, which means Wednesday you'll be getting our season preview. We will be filming at Big City Wings.
Yes.
And you will get the season preview where we're going to give our predictions on how many games we're going to win, or everything with the season coming up.
So you'll get that, and you'll also get our Yankees series podcast as well. So those are on deck. Shout out to our sponsors once again: Big City Wings, Houston Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. We'll be out there filming Celebrity Mint and U.S. Coins and Jewelry. Like I said on the last episode, they're doing a ton of stuff. They have Tyson, Ric Flair, Jake Paul. They're doing so many different cool things over there that it's truly game changing. Here from Houston, family owned. We love them. And then Prize Picks, use promo code Apollo for 100% match deposit. We'll be dropping our video shortly on our Prize Picks.
We're cooking up some plays, some fantasy gameplay.
Yes.
Videos.
Be careful with our language. So make sure you use that code at deposit. Help us out a bit. And other than that, like, subscribe, unsubscribe, resubscribe again, give a 5-star review. Appreciate you guys.
Yep.
Peace. Love you.
Peace.